Hey, hey, I'm Mindy Kinnis. This is the Daily Rage. Obviously, the big news of the day was the CPI report this morning. You can see what it did to the markets, pushed the indexes off of a cliff, and they just fell down basically into the center of the earth. For context, this is the NASDAQ futures on a 2 minute time frame. We actually got a little pop early, and then this was when the announcement came out. So from here, where this candle starts, all the way down just to the end of this candle, not even including this lower action down here. Just this one candle was about a $6,000 move on one single contract. So that just goes to show how fast and how big this can be when there is momentum like that, like the consumer price index. Now, I want to take a look at the daily chart on the NASDAQ just to talk about where we ended up, like essentially what stopped us when it was just cruising lower today. We ended here. This is the bottom of the wick right here. And check this out. Very strong support from here just earlier last week. Very strong support in that same vicinity from this area back in mid March. Relatively close to this area right in here from February. Now, what's also interesting about this is check this out. And I love when this happens. I know there are a lot of newer traders in the Daily Rage community. So I just want to talk about this a little bit. For some people, you might be like, yeah, that's obvious. But when you're a new trader, you might not see it the same way. How this works is that resistance can become support and support can become resistance. So back in this area here, this was back in January, you can see that this area was essentially resistance. This worked its way up, 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 couldn't get any higher than here, kind of fooled around a bit, dropped off a cliff again, and then eventually broke through that resistance. Well, then the resistance became over time support. So it acted as resistance, in other words, the ceiling up top, holding the price action down. And eventually, throughout these months, now is acting as support where it comes down, hits and bounce off, comes down, hits and bounce off, comes down again today, almost to that exact same level. Now, we are just sitting at the edge, the upper edge of this Ichimoku cloud. So we'll have to see what happens from here on out. Are we going to drop back into the cloud and work our way further? If you're going by the parabolic SAR, it is saying, yes, we are in a downtrend. But that being said, we do need to pay attention, like I've been mentioning recently, to the ADX. So the ADX is still only 14, meaning it's not trending. So we can't really just say, oh, like strong trend, cool, let's go down. That's not necessarily the case. And the daily cloud will act as a huge buffer to hold this thing up. You can see that we're ending right about at that edge, even though we sunk down here during the day. For those of you that are new to trading, I want to introduce you to my first trading teacher, Terry Ijiyama. She is hosting a Take Your First Trade challenge starting next week. I'll link you over there if you'd like to check it out. If you're watching on YouTube, the link is down below in the comment section. I'm Mindy Kinnis. Thanks so much for watching.